Motivation sparks action, but it is temporary and unreliable. It's the excitement, the burst of energy, or the emotional push that gets you moving at the start. Motivation can light a fire under you, giving you the initial drive to begin a project, pursue a goal, or make a change. But like a flame, it flickers and fades. It can't carry you through the long journey ahead. Relying on motivation alone is risky because it depends on circumstances, moods, and external stimuli, all of which fluctuate. When motivation wanes, effort often diminishes, leaving tasks unfinished and goals unrealized. That's why so many people start with great enthusiasm but fail to maintain progress over time. Motivation can get you out of bed, make you excited to start, or push you to take the first step, but it rarely keeps you moving through the inevitable challenges and setbacks. Understanding motivation's temporary nature is crucial. It's a tool to ignite action, not the engine that sustains it. Recognizing this prevents frustration when your initial excitement fades and helps you plan for the consistent effort needed to reach meaningful goals. True progress comes when motivation is coupled with structure and routine. Motivation gives you the spark, but without a system or a plan, that spark quickly dies out. It is the bridge from desire to action, but it cannot replace the steady force that keeps you going every day. So use motivation wisely as the starting point, not the finish line. Let it inspire you to take the first step, but rely on habits and discipline to carry you the distance. Motivation gets you started, habit ensures you finish. Habits create consistency and sustain long-term progress. While motivation ignites the initial spark, habits are the engine that keeps you moving forward day after day. They transform sporadic effort into a reliable routine, ensuring that your goals receive consistent attention even when motivation wanes. Over time, this consistency compounds, producing results far greater than bursts of enthusiasm ever could. Consistency through habits removes the guesswork and reduces reliance on willpower. When an action becomes a habit, it no longer requires a decision or emotional push. It simply becomes part of your daily rhythm. This structural approach makes progress predictable and dependable, rather than subject to the ups and downs of how you feel. Habits also build momentum. Each small, repeated action reinforces your skills, strengthens your discipline, and moves you incrementally closer to your goals. Even modest daily improvements, maintained consistently, accumulate into significant achievements over months and years. Without habits, the best intentions often fail. Motivation alone can get you started, but without systems to support your efforts, you're left relying on fluctuating feelings and external encouragement. Habits anchor your efforts and transform fleeting ambition into sustained accomplishment. So focus on creating the right habits, ones that align with your goals and values. When your actions become routine, progress becomes inevitable, and long-term success is no longer dependent on momentary bursts of motivation. Relying solely on motivation leads to intermittent effort and wasted potential. Motivation comes and goes. It's tied to your emotions, your energy levels, and external circumstances. If you wait for motivation to push you forward, you'll often find yourself starting strong one day and stagnating the next. This inconsistency prevents real progress and keeps your potential locked behind fleeting enthusiasm. When you depend only on motivation, your actions become reactive rather than intentional. You act when you feel inspired and pause when you don't, which creates gaps in your progress. These gaps slow growth, erode discipline, and make it harder to achieve meaningful results over time. Potential that isn't consistently developed is wasted potential. You may have talent, ideas, or ambition, but without a system or structure to sustain your efforts, much of it remains unrealized. Motivation alone is too unstable to carry you to your long-term goals. The key is to pair motivation with routine and habit. Use motivation to ignite action, but let habits take over when motivation fades. By creating reliable systems and consistent practices, You ensure your efforts continue regardless of how you feel on any given day. So don't let your success hinge on fleeting feelings of inspiration. Build habits and structure your actions so that your potential is realized steadily, day by day, even when motivation is low. This is how intermittent effort turns into lasting achievement. Discipline transforms initial enthusiasm into lasting achievement. Motivation may give you a rush of energy or a burst of excitement, but it fades quickly. Discipline, on the other hand, carries you through when motivation wanes, ensuring that you keep taking the right actions consistently over time. It turns a short-lived spark into a sustained fire that drives real results. Discipline means doing what needs to be done, even when you don't feel like it. It bridges the gap between inspiration and outcome, providing the structure and consistency that enthusiasm alone cannot deliver. While motivation is emotional, discipline is deliberate. It doesn't depend on how you feel in the moment. By practicing discipline daily, you create habits that automate progress. Tasks that once required effort and self-control gradually become second nature. This consistency compounds over time, transforming small, disciplined actions into significant achievements. Discipline also strengthens character. Each time you follow through despite fatigue, doubt, or distraction, you reinforce your resilience, focus, and self-mastery. These qualities not only support your current goals, but also prepare you for bigger challenges in the future. So, rely on discipline to carry you forward when enthusiasm fades. Let it structure your efforts, maintain your momentum, and ensure that your initial excitement results in tangible, lasting achievement. Small daily actions compound into significant results over time. Success rarely comes from a single heroic effort. It is built from consistent, repeated steps taken day after day. Each small action may seem insignificant in isolation, but when accumulated, these actions create momentum that leads to extraordinary outcomes. Consistency is the secret behind compounding. A small improvement made every day, whether it's learning, exercising, saving, or practicing a skill, adds up in ways that surprise those who focus only on immediate results. Over months and years, these tiny actions snowball into achievements that once seemed impossible. Compounding also works in reverse. Small negative habits repeated daily can quietly erode your progress. Just as small positive actions build upward momentum, small careless choices can accumulate into setbacks, emphasizing the importance of mindful, intentional effort. The key is persistence. You don't need massive bursts of effort to achieve greatness. You need steady, repeated action aligned with your goals. Over time, the cumulative effect of these actions far outweighs sporadic intensity. So focus on what you can do consistently every day, no matter how small it seems. Those daily actions, compounded over time, are the real engine of long-term success and personal growth. Habits reduce the need for constant willpower and decision-making. When you rely solely on motivation or force yourself to act each day, you exhaust mental energy and leave yourself vulnerable to distraction or fatigue. Habits automate your actions, making the right behavior a natural part of your routine rather than a daily struggle against temptation or procrastination. By embedding productive behaviors into your daily life, you free up mental space for more important decisions. Your energy isn't drained deciding whether to take action. It becomes focused on improving, innovating, and solving problems. Habits transform effort into something automatic, ensuring consistency even when your motivation dips. This automation also builds momentum. Once a habit is established, it becomes self-reinforcing. Completing it consistently strengthens discipline and creates a sense of accomplishment that fuels further progress. The less you rely on sheer willpower, the more reliably you move toward your goals. Habits also act as guardrails against inconsistency. Even when life becomes stressful, chaotic, or overwhelming, a well-formed habit keeps you on track, protecting your progress from the ups and downs of circumstance. So focus on creating habits that support your goals. Let them take over where willpower falters, making consistent action effortless and sustainable. In the end, it's not motivation that carries you forward. It's the power of your habits. Motivation is emotional, habit is structural and dependable. Motivation comes and goes with your feelings, energy, and external circumstances. It's unpredictable and fleeting. Habit, on the other hand, is built into the structure of your daily life. Once established, it operates independently of your moods, ensuring that progress continues even when enthusiasm fades. Habits create a framework that supports consistent action. They turn important behaviors into routine, making them automatic rather than reliant on fluctuating emotions. This dependability ensures that your goals receive steady attention, whether you feel inspired or not. Relying solely on motivation is risky because it's subject to change. One day you may feel energized and ready to work, and the next you may feel exhausted or distracted. Habits provide a safety net, maintaining forward momentum regardless of how you feel in the moment. Structural habits also reduce decision fatigue. When behaviors become automatic, you no longer need to summon willpower each day to take action. The routine carries you forward, allowing your energy to focus on more complex or creative tasks while the basics are reliably managed. So recognize that while motivation can light the spark, it's habit that keeps the fire burning. Build dependable routines, and you create a system where progress doesn't depend on emotion. It becomes inevitable. Success favors those who build systems, not just those who feel inspired. Inspiration may strike occasionally, giving you bursts of energy or brilliant ideas. But without a system in place, that energy quickly dissipates. Systems create structure, consistency, and repeatable processes that ensure progress continues even when motivation fades. A well-designed system turns goals into actionable steps and routines, reducing reliance on sporadic effort or fleeting enthusiasm. It transforms what could be chaotic or inconsistent into predictable, measurable progress. When you operate within a system, each action builds upon the last, creating momentum that carries you forward steadily. Systems also protect against setbacks and distractions. While motivation fluctuates with emotions and circumstances, systems provide a framework that keeps you on track regardless of external pressures or internal doubt. They act as a roadmap, guiding your efforts and minimizing wasted time or energy. Building systems requires foresight, discipline, and deliberate planning. It's about identifying the critical actions that produce results and embedding them into your daily routines. Over time, these systems compound, turning small, consistent actions into significant achievements. So focus on creating processes and structures that support your goals. Inspiration will come and go, but a strong system ensures that your progress never stops, making success not just possible, but inevitable. Repetition and routine turn effort into second nature. The more you repeat a task or behavior, the less conscious effort it requires. What once demanded focus, willpower, or energy gradually becomes automatic, allowing you to perform consistently without relying on fluctuating motivation. This transformation is the key to sustaining long-term success. Through routine, actions that might feel difficult or unfamiliar at first become ingrained habits. Daily practice reinforces the behavior, embedding it into your life so that it no longer feels like a struggle. Over time, the right routines shape your skills, discipline, and character without requiring constant conscious effort. Repetition also strengthens confidence. As you perform tasks consistently, your competence grows, and the fear or hesitation that once accompanied them diminishes. What once seemed challenging becomes second nature, freeing mental energy to tackle more complex or creative pursuits. Routine compounds small efforts into meaningful results. Even tiny actions, when repeated consistently, accumulate into significant achievements over weeks, months, and years. This compounding effect turns ordinary effort into extraordinary outcomes. So embrace repetition and build strong routines. By consistently practicing the right actions, You make success a natural part of your daily life, transforming effort from a struggle into an automatic, unstoppable force. True achievement comes from bridging the gap between fleeting motivation and enduring habits. Motivation gives you the initial push, the excitement, inspiration, or emotional surge that gets you moving toward a goal. But motivation alone is unreliable. It fluctuates with your mood, circumstances, and energy levels. Without habits to support it, motivation often fizzles before meaningful progress is made. Habits provide the consistency and structure that transform short-lived enthusiasm into sustained effort. They are the bridge that carries you from the spark of motivation to long-term results. While motivation ignites action, habits keep you moving forward, day after day, regardless of how you feel. By developing routines and disciplined practices, you create a system that ensures progress continues even when inspiration wanes. This combination of initial drive and consistent behavior compounds over time, turning small actions into significant achievements. Bridging this gap also builds resilience and character. When you rely on habits, you learn to follow through, adapt to challenges, and maintain focus even when motivation is low. This reliability becomes the foundation of true accomplishment. So don't depend solely on motivation to achieve your goals. Use it to start, but let habits carry you forward. True achievement lies in connecting the spark of inspiration with the enduring power of consistent, disciplined action.